So these are the rules the song talked about. We can quickly go over them. If we multiply two integers that have the same sign, like a positive times a positive, we're always going to get a positive answer. A negative times a negative is also a positive answer because the signs are the same. Now, if we multiply two integers that are opposite signs, like a positive times a negative, or a negative times a positive, our answer will always be negative. But what happens if we're multiplying more than two integers together? For example, right here, negative 8 times 5 times negative 2. How do I know which sign my answer is going to be? Well, let's first figure out what this would be. So, negative 8 times 5, a negative times a positive gives us a negative 40. And then we still need to multiply that by negative 2. So now we have a negative 40 times negative 2. Two negative numbers being multiplied together gives us a positive answer. So this is going to be positive 80. All right, and then let's look at example 2. We'll break this one down as well. Negative 7 times 10 times negative 1 times negative 3. So negative 7 times 10, that's negative times a positive, opposite signs. Our answer is negative. Bring everything else down. Now I've got negative 70 times negative 1. Negative times a negative is a positive 70. But then I still need to multiply that by negative 3. So positive 70 times negative 3 gives me negative 210. And that's my answer. By the way, these two multiplication symbols, so the dot and the parentheses, both mean the same thing. They just tell us to multiply. So let's see. In example 1, we had two negative numbers. Example 2, we had 3 negative numbers. So the general rule that you might want to write down is if we have an even amount of negative numbers being multiplied together, we're going to get a positive answer. If the amount of negative numbers in the problem is odd, then we have a negative answer. So even, positive answer. Odd, negative answer. Okay, let's go ahead and do example 3. So this one has an absolute value symbol in it. So whenever there's absolute value, we first want to simplify that part, and then we'll do the multiplying. So negative 8, there's the absolute value of negative 8. That means how far is that from 0? That would be a positive 8. So remember, distance can't be negative. So I'll bring everything else down. Now I have 8 times 3 times negative 2. If we look at our problem, if we want to predict what's going to happen, we only have one negative number. 1 is an odd number, so we have an odd amount of negative numbers. Our answer should be negative. So if you want to just go ahead and multiply the three numbers together at once, do 8 times 3, that's 24, times 2, that's 48, and then we knew our answer should be negative. You can do it all in one step. And there we go.